Okay, first up we got crude oil. So haven't looked at this in I think 3 or 4 days, but maybe a bit more. But I did set up I did look for a long position if price broke this area, just because it is above this moving average and was moving heavily bullish. So I did have a feeling it was going to sell off, but based on the technicals, I had to position myself for a long entry. And but you can see that never broke this area, and it actually broke lower. So this might be the direction oil is going now. Yesterday's big bearish candle through this little zone here, so now we have to figure out what we're working with. So delete all these. Just want to see how much oil has actually moved this month already. So about $6. Usually moves about 13. So now, do we think that oil is going to pull back for the rest of the month, or do we think that it's going to break up and go higher? That is the big question. I'm looking at all these. You can see on this 4-hour now, you got lower highs, lower lows, and before that, you never had any of that really. So you had just had higher highs and higher lows. So it was very bullish before. Now it doesn't appear as much, but we don't know if it is still bullish or not. You can see there's a really nice zone here though. So price pushed down this zone a little bit already. So we'll see if this pushes it again and then eventually maybe breaks this. There's a huge level here right around $80. Well, we're gonna actually probably is $80 to be honest. Put this here. Yeah, so your $80 is kind of what I'm looking for this to break, which is down quite a bit, and it's at the very bottom of this wick. So we need 80 to break, and then could consider some short positions to end the month. That would be, we got to reposition these then to something like this. A lot of it has to do with the US dollar, so depending on how that functions is how this is probably going to move. But we'll just set this up just in case. I do like trading oil. It moves really well once it starts to move. It just trends well usually. So like this move here, just boom, from $66 all the way to 85, just perfect. So yeah, we need oil to break $80. If the high is 85 for the month, then the low is roughly 72. That's $13 a range for the month, which is reasonable. And so you're kind of looking at something like this. Now that would be counter trend trading because it is above the moving average, so a little hesitant on that. But if all the other price action aligns, if price can break this 4-hour moving average, then I would consider it. I just want to see, there's just a couple key areas. So this one obviously is $80 one, and there's another one here, and then actually another one right below it. So there is some zones here that price will have to break and not get filled for buyers. But I would also just look at the upside here and see what kind of protection we have from this going back up. So definitely have these wicks here, these bottoms. It's kind of like this $82 level. I'll put this line in here. Oil really likes whole numbers, so got to be very mindful of those, because that is where it will tend to move. So we got this $82 marker, so I like that. So possibly price comes back up and retests this area and then rejects, and then we'll head back down into this $80 area and probably push this lower and lower like I said. So that's kind of what I'm banking on happening now. But again, this is still pretty bullish. Like, it's way above the 4-hour moving average. It did cross over the 1-hour though, so that is a good sign. If we throw a fib on here, You can see it is touching this 382 level. Granted, this is only a 1 hour. This is only this little segment, but might push up a little bit higher to this zone. And like this zone is right in between the 50% and the 618. So right where it's like that's where the zone starts. So and this moving average. So price will push up in order to close the gap on this moving average and then retest it. But you can see this did make a little bit of a higher low and a little bit of a higher high right now. So on this 1 hour time frame, there is a little bit of bullish structure setting up. So I do see this pushing up a little bit maybe today. So today might be a bull day up into that $80 zone, which would make sense because you're basically after this massive candle yesterday, so $2.50 candle yesterday. Price will just try to come up and retest all these previous prices for this yesterday's candle as far as it can, and I don't know if it'll go past $82, but it might try, just because you can see it is rejecting this zone, and this is a huge area, so it's going to take a little bit to break it. Most likely it's going to have to push this zone lower and lower and lower. It already started, so yeah, I do see this just coming up. It's 82. And then just kind of selling off there, and then possibly breaking this $80 zone, or just pushing it lower and then kind of retest and try it again. So that is what I'm looking for oil. To me, oil prices should not be going up, and the reason is with economic slowdown, high interest rates, to me, oil should not be on the rise. But I mean, it can do anything it wants, right? If the market demands it, if supply and demand, government legislations, there's a lot of factors that come in with oil, so it's very political. But yeah, that's my take on it so far. We'll see what it'll do. Keep you guys posted. I'm interested to see what it does when it comes back up to $82, or if it breaks 80, then I might be looking for a short, and we'll go from there. So that's oil.